group discussion topic is going to be how to find a good way to ask for a letter of recommendation from a professor. So in this topic, the main points that we're going to cover is how to approach a professor. Second point is how to appeal yourself to get a letter of recommendation. Third point is how to interact with the professor or remind the professor, and what are the tips to do all of this. So to start off the discussion, I say that being a being a student or being a direct member of a class of a professor is the first point that you have to make sure that you are ticking, so that that's how you're going to directly be asking that professor that you want their letter of recommendation. That is how you will get to be uh, you know you'll get to have a reason why your professor is recommending you. And for this there are multiple points, right? The professor needs to actually like you to give you a good recommendation, and second thing is you have to have a good reputation in the campus and good work that you have already did, so that your recommendation can be stacked up. I feel this is the things. And when it comes to asking a letter of recommendation, there are two main factors. One is making sure that you are giving a professor a good amount of time to research on you, and then making sure that you are actually worth of the letter of recommendation. So that's what I feel, guys. So what do you think, Sam?
Yeah. So when you are asking for a recommendation to a professor in a university, I think you should ask from a professor that has worked with you or that has teach you something, that has taught you something, not a professor that you are very lenient with, or not a professor that you know. So that when you ask a professor that has already actually worked with you, so you can get they know how you work with the group of people, or how you perform in a project, and like how do you help other people who are falling behind in their schedule, so that they know what to mention in that recommendation scale. It's better that you ask professors that you have worked with, and you can ask professors, you can ask lecturers, and you can ask managers if you are from a corporate background, if you have a corporate background. And so also while asking for a letter of recommendation, you should confirm with the recommender that if he has enough time for him to write a letter for you, and if he has enough situations with him that he can explain more about you, that it will be beneficial for you in the long run, or for the job that you're applying, or for any other position that you're applying. So, and also you should confirm that if he is comfortable writing a letter for you, because most of the professors, they just think that it takes a lot of time from their own schedule, and mostly they won't accept it. So but it's better that you confirm with them. And yeah, that's what I think. What do you think, Ivy?
I think when you ask recommendation letter from your professor or from your manager, if you are employee of a corporate sector, so timing and approach is most important. If you want your recommendation letter, so you talk with your authority before 4 to 6 week deadlines. And I think the talk in person is most important, because when you talk with your authority and with your professor in person, it will be help to justify and identification very well. And you can start with gratitude and explain why you are seeking this recommendation letter. And the another thing is you can send via email. You can write in a polite manner and describe yourself, your designation, and your place where you are working, why you were asking about this recommendation letter. So that will help your organization or your university authority to make a recommendation to you, and mention the importance of the respecting the recommender's decision if they uh, decline. So
So, what do you think, Soumya? So, do you have any points
So
to add?
when you want a recommendation from the professors or the manager, higher authorities that you're working in, first you need to tell a relevant information why you actually want the recommendation, and you have to tell them the highlighting points that you want to be in the letter of recommendation, and you have to give them a correct deadline, and so that you can just see it, and whether it's right or wrong, and you can just correct it before the submission date. And another thing is, if you have any specific achievements or any experience, like if you have a job experience in that field, like you have to ask the recommender to mention that I'm having this skill, so please mention that in that letter of recommendation, so that it will be easy for you to get into that job or any of the universities. So I would do like that if I want an LOR from the professor or manager. So, and another thing is you need to organize it in a simple format that who is reading your LOR should be it should be relevant for them to read and easily understand it. So that's the point for that.
And also, I think it's better to ask the recommender well before in time, like giving them time to prepare for the letter and clearing out some time from their schedule. So I would say it's better to ask them in advance of 4 to 5 weeks.
Yeah. So after the recommendation is made, we have to remind our professors so that we are waiting for your letter of
Yeah, we have
recommendation.
to mail them.
So what time would you think is the best, Soumya?
I think it's a week before or 2 weeks before we have to remind them continuously. I think just not continuously. You should just give them a reminder that the submission date is coming near, and you have to mail them 1 week before, I think.
So do you think is it going to bother the professor, or how to ask the professor that?
We should not continuously mail them. You should wait some 48 hours or 72 hours for like 2 to 3 days. If you did not get any reply, you should mail, I think so, from
Maybe
my
contact them in
perspective.
person.
Yeah.
I think you have any points to add to this?
After emailing, you can face to face talk with him. I think it will be better for all of the students, because if you went to the professor and talk in person, I think it will be reminder. So,
And also mention your recommenders, like some of the achievements that you have made, so that will be helpful in for your job, what the
Yeah.
position that you are applying for, and just tell them to highlight on those achievements alone. So that would be better, so that you can get a strong letter of recommendation.
So to sum up our group discussion, what we have learned here. Point 1, to ask a letter of recommendation from a professor, we have to have a personal connection with him. Point 2, we have to give him a prior time of 4 to 3 weeks
Yeah.
before our deadline.
Mhm.
Point 3, we have to ask the professor, remind the professor
A week
in
before.
the span of 1 or 2 weeks.
Yeah.
And we have to have a good connection with the professor, which means he has to give you good recommendation. For that you have to have a good travel with the professor, and your resume and everything has to be sent to the professor, and given the time limit, they can complete their
Yeah.
recommendation.
And also telling some of the achievements that you want to be mentioned in the letter of recommendation. And also like taking confirmation that he is okay or the recommender is okay with giving you the letter of recommendation or not.
So Aditi, can you give us a closing statement?
Overall of this discussion, we can make some point. If we want a good recommendation letter from our university, so we should follow these tips what we discuss. Our 4 groups member, like we have to communication in person, and we have to communicate via mail, and we have to wait for 4 to 5 weeks, and I think it will be better for all of us.
So what not to do for an LOR? Each of us will give a point. Sam, start with what
So-
not to do for a
Yeah.
letter of recommendation.
So not giving enough time for the recommender to recommend us a letter, so that we don't get the best letter for the position that we are looking for.
Soumya.
From my what can I say is don't go to the other professor who did not teach you and ask for the letter of recommendation. You should know the professor personally, and he should be the one who teaches you, and he should be the one who knows you well to write the letter of recommendation.
Aditi, what about you?
From my side, don't go frequently. Just wait and see for the return mail.
So from my side, I feel that the letter of recommendation and the format needs to be clear and formal. So we will present the letter of recommendation formats in the video. According to the format, we can present the letters, and with the given information, we can get a good letter of recommendation from our professors. Thank you. We are good, sir.
Thank you.
Thank